Okay, so here's the mission that we got.
What is up, everyone? It's your girl JJBEATS with none other than.
Oh, is that like a cue for me to?
Yes, yeah.
I'm the dog.
Yes, it's literally like a 50-50. There's usually like people understand it and people don't understand it.
Nah, I'm stupid. I kind of just woke up not too long ago, but we're here. We're good. What's up?
Yes. So who are you?
I'm DonShnack. I make little Nintendo funny videos, I guess. Every single thing within Pikmin 4 has been randomized. This includes the enemies, the caves, the treasures, as well as our starting Pikmin. Wait, is this free? This can't be right. Now, there is a lot happening on the first day. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that the Emperor Boblex, he shouldn't be there. DLC Cup and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been combined into a giant 48 race Grand Prix. And what I want is the gold. But I'm definitely not trying to do all those races by myself. So I assembled a little team to help me out. Starting with our first operative, I was, I think what really started it was I was messing around with videos for a while in like 2018. I think I started doing like Pokemon Let's Plays, and I immediately was like, this stinks. I feel like I'm making nothing that matters, and I'm just like a drop in a giant ocean. But what really I think kickstarted my career was actually a quarantine. I'm a what they call a COVID baby, to where I was like really involved in college, doing a lot, and then once that was all stripped away from me, I was like, well, I have a lot of time on my hands to really do something. And so I got into video editing, I got into making my own videos, and then it just kind of built from there. So that was like the big thing.
You said I'm not about that Vtuber life.
I'll probably get into more later because I see a lot of the questions here, and I feel like this will get into more of those philosophies. But I think Pokemon YouTube's fine, but I think like I made a Let's Play of Pokemon Crystal, like randomized or whatever. It's like, wow, I'm one of 5 billion people doing that. Like, how does that set myself apart from anybody? You know, there was like no creative fulfillment, and I was just like, and the numbers showed. I mean, I was getting like 2 views, so I was like, this is something I really need to abandon ASAP.
When I first found out about you, you were known as like the editor.
Yeah.
How many people did you edit for, and who was the first person you edited for?
First person was Ryan King Corefish.
The company recently got hacked, and hundreds of unreleased beta Pokemon were leaked to the public. A lot of these beta designs are really cool. Personally, my favorite is the ground type cast form.
That's kind of what kickstarted things a lot for me too. There was a lot of moments in my little career going where I think there was like a big bump where like I learned a lot. I think with him, it was funny. It kind of originated from my mom, because I was like, Mom, I'm doing YouTube. Like, this is kind of cool. And she's a pretty critical person, but not to a point where it's like most families where they like she acknowledged what I did and like approved of it. You know, like, yeah, totally follow your dreams. But she was nice and realistic about it, to where she was like, all right, like, this is fine and all, but like, where's your prospects? You know, like, where is this going? You're not making any connections. And I was like, fine, I'll make a freaking connection. And he had a submit your work type of thing on Twitter, and I got the job. That didn't last long because it was bad. But after that, I started working for United Plays Dylan, and that was like the best thing ever. Like, I had that job for like 2-3 years.
Today we are building a Pokemon team by selecting randomized starters, except we must take all of them. So if we see Swampert, Lugia, and Lovedisk, you gotta decide, is it worth it to have those 2 amazing Pokemon while also having to take one horrendous one with them? Both players are allowed 2 skips to risk a future round having better luck. We will both select a total of 12 Pokemon for some insane battles with 2 different teams. For
some bigger people in the Pokemon community specifically, I edited a video or 2 for like Game Boy Luke, if you know who that is. Supra, I did a video or 2. I edited for Alpha Red for like 3 months.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I got around for a little bit, but primarily I would say like Dylan's the biggest one that I worked for. That was for a while.
When you said United Plays, I was just like, United Plays? And I looked it up, I was like, isn't that United Gamer? And I found out, I was like, this man had 2 channels the whole time. I was so like, wait, what the turd?
Yeah, it was very tomato, like, they're now like the same exact thing. I think there's like financial reasons for doing so, like you can get sponsors on both or whatever, but I think initially One was for Let's Plays, and one was for like those like Then We Fight videos that are more, you know, highly edited, more like Mr. Beastified or whatever you want to call it. You know, more for like a modern YouTube landscape. I guess Mr. Beastified's got a negative connotation, but I was doing the Then We Fight videos that required more editing and more sauce. But I think now he just abandoned Let's Plays, I think, on that channel, and now it's just kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, they're both essentially the same thing now, but like I remember knowing them because of the core 4, essentially. Vinny, Dylan, Ryan.
Yeah.
And then Dylan. Wait, did I say Dylan? Asteroid. So
Yeah.
So I like how I said everyone's name except Asteroid. I was just like, wait, that's not his name. Frank.
Frank.
I was just like, because he hid his name for so long, so I was just like, wait, that doesn't sound right. But no, it's funny you said Supra, because I was just like, oh yeah, I remember Supra. He did a lot of those Let's Plays too. But with AlphaRad, is there any like that? Like, you remember editing, like, because he did a lot of Pokemon ones, and then he started going, well, I think he did a lot of different ones, and then he started doing Pokemon because those really popped up. So, like, is there one you
I did.
specifically?
I actually remember, like, because there wasn't that much work, like, in the span of the months that I did, there wasn't too many things that I worked on for him. I did his first, like, Mario Party, but the loser is the winner. I think that was, like, my audition video. That was the first one, and then I did his entire, for the most part, him playing through Legends Arceus, which is now like one video, but he initially made it like into different parts.
Yeah.
And I had done most of those, and then there was a video that he did that was him ranking every single Pokemon. And I think someone else was assigned to do it, and they didn't do that great of a job, and I was tasked to clean it up. That was a horrible experience because it was a super long video, and I accidentally deleted the files for it.
Rip.
And like organizing things, and I was like, oh, I have to start this all over. That's really awesome. Wow, fantastic. He was really chill about it, but that was kind of what sucks too is that was like the last thing I did for him, so it kind of got off on like a sour note. But me and him are cool now, so it's fine. It was never not cool. It was just kind of awkward.
Yeah,
but
just like, oh, sorry.
that's how it can be in business.
I deleted your files, my bad.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you know how I said I was gonna get this done like by the end of this week? Well, now we have to bump that out because I'm an idiot. So, whoops.
Whoopsie.
My bad. It happens.
That gotta be one of the worst moments is as an editor. It's like, yeah, your content's gone. They're like, excuse me. So.
Oh no, yeah, I crashed out. I was working for him and Dylan at the time too. So it was it got rough. It was a time where I was just drowning in work. But I don't know. I felt like that's what needed to be done in order to make more money. Because when you start off, you're making pennies. And I was like, I need to start. You know, I'm like at that point, I'm like what, like 24, 23. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to move out. I'm trying to live with my girlfriend. I need to start making moves to make things happen. So yeah, it sucked, but we made it out good by the end. So that's all that matters.
This was all during the Bovid era? I call it Bovid because I got
like
canceled. My video got deleted. My video got deleted for apparently saying the word even though I never said it. So now I just say Bovid. So.
Bovid. It was a little bit after. It was I lived in the big thing was I had been dating my girlfriend long distance for years at that point, and we both graduated college. She was getting done her master's program. And it was like, all right, when are you moving out here? Because she lived in California, I lived in New Jersey.
Wow. This
was, I think, yeah, like lockdown was done. We were beyond that point. I think this was like 2022. I think I want to say. Time I was getting hazy in my head, but that was yeah, and so that's what really like got me like, all right, I need to start like making some bread because LA rent's the most expensive thing in the freaking world. So I was like, we need to start making things happen here. I can't just like live off of this one stream of income, which is tough. Editors have it hard. Editors definitely have it hard.
You said I need to make that LA bread.
I do. You play life on hard mode.
Yeah, well, why are you in LA? That's the real question.
To live with her. She's not moving, so I was like, all right, fine. I guess I'll move out there. It's not that easy. People try to chalk it up like it's so easy. Like, oh, why don't you just convince her? It's like, have you ever seen the guy in the relationship, like, bake that decision, you know? And it's also a matter of just, like, I'm more I guess low maintenance in that regard, and it was just a matter of like, yeah, okay. I mean, she had valid reasons for wanting to stay out there. I proposed my case. The decision was made. You know, that's fine. I'm enjoying it out here. It's just more expensive, but I'm a stubborn guy. I'm like, all right, I'll have my cake and eat it too. I'll just find ways to become successful, and therefore I can afford it.
No,
and I did it. So we good.
My friend, every time like he had a girl, he was broke, and every time he didn't, he had money. I was just like, huh, cause and effect, isn't that funny, huh? I was just like, you with the girl, you without the girl. I was like, your wallet seems to have a drastic change for some reason. I wonder why that is. Oh my goodness.